Babies are pretty funny, especially when they fall. And although we take falling for granted, it's a pretty interesting concept when you actually think about it in disc golf terms. I know, wait a second. We're falling in disc golf? The last thing I want is to fall. And you're 100% right. You obviously do not want to fall. There are some mechanics that come with falling that can actually help us in our disc golf throw. One of the most difficult things about the backhand throw and the X step is the plant leg itself. Where do I put my plant leg? Do I plant it directly in front of me? Do I put it out to the side? How far out should it be? How close should it be? There's a lot of confusion about this. And I think a lot of times we try to manipulate and force things that don't necessarily fit with our body. And so what we're going to do to help us with this is we're going to learn a little bit about how to fall and then the drill that we can all implement. It's time to let our bodies hit the floor. Just like babies fall when they're learning to walk, we need to learn how to fall so that we can brace our leg appropriately and make sure that we're not going to leak out of it mid-throw. In short, our brace leg, our plant leg should come out as if it's trying to catch us. That way our momentum is going into it and then our brace leg holds steady. With a firm and strong brace leg, you're going to be able to generate more torque and power and velocity onto the disc while maintaining good form. One of the biggest issues that you can have in your throw is a poor brace, because when you have a bad brace, at any moment it can break and then you end up either early releasing or grip locking, and it causes a ton of problems with nose angle and release angle as well. Today's falling drill actually has 9 steps. Now I know that sounds like a lot, but I've actually broken it up into 3 stages. So the beginner phase starts with step 1, and that is standing perpendicular to your target. The placement here is super important. You want to emulate being at that final point in your X step. Step 2 is to balance on your rear foot. But we don't actually want to sit our entire weight on our foot. What you're going to do is start leaning a little bit more towards the center. Now look at me standing directly over my foot and kind of see how my center of gravity is almost over my foot and my legs leaning out a little bit. When I actually keep the center of gravity a little bit more to the right of my left leg, you see that my leg's a little bit straighter. And this is ideally what we want. I know it seems like a fraction of a difference, but it's going to have a huge effect on your throw and being able to take this drill and translate it into your walk up and X step when you get to that point. Once you've gotten into this position where your center of gravity is a little bit to the right of your plant leg or to the left of your plant leg, depending if you're lefty or righty, you want to actually fall. And don't just put your foot right down where you're standing. Actually like fall forward a little bit towards your target and allow your brace leg to catch you. This is step 4. Looking down at your foot, what is your heel doing? What is your toe doing? What is your knee doing? We want to catch ourselves where our heel is the furthest thing pointing out, our toe is pointing in, and our hips are staying closed. We are falling into a powerful position to unload the disc. So step 5 is to repeat this process until it begins to feel comfortable. Now keep in mind, you are still not holding a disc. You need to get used to this falling, and you want it to really become second nature. Once you feel comfortable with that, you're ready for step 6. Step 6 is where you actually start to hold something. We're still not holding a disc yet, but you want to hold a towel. The reason we're holding a towel here in step 6 is because it's going to give us the feeling of throwing without having to retrieve a disc out of a net or out of a field. So when your brace leg sets, remember we want to glide our hips. If you have a question about this gliding movement, make sure you watch this video after this one, because that will explain it all for you. But you want to get that glide going because this is building up towards that cascading effect that Cade talked about in the 11 tips video. And so doing that gliding motion is going to help you really build up your throw and take all these drills and skills we're working on and really start to layer them. Keep repeating steps 6 and 7. Don't rush through them because we've already added a couple new things here, so you really want to get comfortable with it. Once you get comfortable with the throwing motion of the towel, the gliding of the hips, and falling all happening super quickly, you're ready for step 8. Step 8 is where you pick up a disc and throw. Now, if you have a net like me, this is the time to use it. And then step 9. This is the one where all the work from steps 1 through 8 comes to a culmination and you begin to throw in the field. We want to be able to throw without thinking. So if you are thinking about falling, thinking about your hips, thinking about your elbow, it's going to distract you and you're going to have a lot of mistakes in your throw. So we definitely want to make sure that we've built this muscle memory into our throwing motion before hitting the field, because we're working on changing so many things at once. This drill is great for developing a strong brace leg or just improving your brace leg if you already have a good foundation with it. I really like how simple it is and how it takes all the skills we've been working on together and just building one on top of each other. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you learned something new. I hope you learned why the brace is so important, and I hope that this drill really broke it down into a couple different phases so we can all develop and grow together. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button. I truly appreciate it. Until next time, have a great round.